Hey guys, what's going on? It's Ash here coming at you today in Clash of Clans again. Are you guys sick of me yet? This is my third video of the day. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry if I'm burning you guys out, but there's a lot to talk about and I wanted to kind of release them in easily digestible videos rather than having one 45-minute video where I just rant and rave, which I tend to do enough of as is. So today, you can see I'm on the dev build again here, just kind of showing off my builder haul level 5. Of course, in real life, it's not looking so sexy here. So we're going to go ahead and switch over to my actual base, not the dev build here, and I'll put on some replays for you guys, because what I haven't talked about is what I actually think of the update. I spent too much time trying to explain what every unit does and what every defensive unit does. You can check out my previous video for that. But today, I want to briefly talk about what I love and what I don't love about this update. So let's start out with, what do you want, the positive or the negative? Half of you guys are probably here just to hear me rant and rave about what's bad in the update, so let's start with that stuff. However, I do think, even though this is a super polarizing update, it's crazy how enraged some people are getting. I saw Powerbang's video in like, man, the top 10 comments are people just totally hating on the update. I don't think that much hate is justified. I'm going to explain why, at least in my opinion, but at the same time, I do think there are things that definitely could be improved and kind of fell short of the mark. So let's get right into it. Let's start with the bad here. Let me turn on some replays. Of course, the replays probably aren't going to be that exciting, right? Everybody is still fairly noobs in this new village, but let's turn them on nonetheless here. Give you something to look at in the background instead of my ugly mug. Starting with the bad, right? Number one is only one builder. I mean, what's up with that, Supercell? I mean, give us more than one builder, and you know, it just feels like there's a lot of exciting things that we can do in this new update, but everything feels slow. And I think they did that in order for us to give us a reason to actually play our home village still, right? To still let us farm there and be active and way more active on our old village rather. The new village almost seems like an entire new game, like Clash of Clans 2.0. Some people are saying Clash Royale. I really don't see that. Other than the live matches, it's not like it's PvP like Clash Royale, real time in head-to-head where you're fighting them. I don't know. That's an argument for another day, but I do see, I guess some loose connections there. But some people are being very critical of the fact that it's a whole new game within the game. And it's funny because I see some people saying on one side of their mouths that, you know, we wanted new troops, we wanted new buildings, and you got all that, but we didn't want it in a whole new village, we wanted it in our old village. So I will talk a little bit about that, because that's my second thing that I think is bad about the update. But moving back to the one builder, it just feels like everything is stunted, the growth that you can experience, and I think that was by design, again, by Supercell, but, you know, I wish you could progress a little bit faster. I wish you could enjoy all this new content a little bit faster. And that brings me to the second point. The second thing I don't like is the loot cap. Man, the loot cap sucks. Let's just say it how it is, guys. I like to binge on something that I'm really enjoying, something that I want to do more of, and something that I'm into, man, I want to keep playing it. And unfortunately, without gems, you can't do that. That gives the appearance that there's a paywall that people have to pay to play more, and people don't like that. So I can see why some people think that it's kind of too pay-to-winny for them having to pay gems to battle more. I wish that there was no loot cap and you could just raid all day to your heart desires. Of course, there might have to just be a higher limitation. That might be 2 pie in the sky by yours truly. Maybe it's like 10 or something. But I feel like right now it's just too stunted, too limited personally. I did reach out to Supercell and ask if they had any plans in changing, and they said it was just too early to tell right now. But I'm sure they will continue to listen to the community's feedback. They did make a lot of changes to the unpopular village guard system that was added in the no town hall sniping. They actually made a lot of changes after the update went live, and they experienced some negative feedback, so hopefully they'll do the same regarding the loot cap, which universally seems to be pretty unpopular so far. So I'm not a big fan of the loot cap at all. Now, the third thing I don't like is just honestly, there's not enough tie-ins between my old village and my new village. I want some more coherency between the two. I want to feel like we're connected. And for me, if we go ahead and go back to my home village, I've spent literally thousands of hours and thousands of dollars, you know, 2 billion, almost 2 billion gold grab. I farmed a lot on my old village. You can see my profile. I've been around for a while, guys, you know, I mean, almost 1,400 war stars. I've spent a long time building up my village, and it feels like I have to start from scratch, which I do, and there's just not enough tie-ins. I mean, I don't want to leave this bad boy behind, and I want to benefit my village more than just being able to gear up. Now, of course, gearing up is awesome. I can't knock gearing up. It's the only thing right now that ties my old village to my new village, but I just want more. I'm being a little greedy here, and I think that Supercell actually probably does have plans to have more tie-ins between the old and the new village. But the thing is, I mean, there's all these new cool troops. If we go back over here, let's switch over to the dev build real quick. There's all these new troops, which is awesome. You know, I love the new troops. I think they're all cool, you know. I mean, some people will kind of argue that elite barbarians in Clash Royale isn't the best thing for the game. But besides that, you can see if I go to my barracks here, these troops are really cool and unique. I like the sneaky archers. I like the rage barbarians. Of course, the boxer giants. You have the bomber, and even the portable cannon car is pretty cool. And of course, these new troops, the Super P.E.K.K.A., the dropship, and the Night Witch are all fantastic as well. I played them, but obviously I can't share that with you guys. But however, like, I want to play with some of these new troops somehow in my old village. I mean, for clan war enthusiasts, myself included, I like to be able to war. I love the strategy in the new village, but I wish there were more tie-ins. I wish there were ways that I could enjoy some of the new perks and some of the new, I don't know, highlights of the update in my old village other than just gearing up. So I think there needs to be more tie-ins personally. Okay, those are my big negatives on the update. More tie-ins. I want more coherency between the two villages. I don't want to feel like I'm playing an entirely separate game within the same app. That's bad for me. Loot cap, really bad. Don't like loot cap at all. One builder, come on, man, give us some more builders. Let us build, let us progress, Supercell, please. But moving on to the good, I think there's a lot of good. Now, obviously, we talked about the bad, so we're gonna push that aside for a second while we do talk about the good. Number one is the new troops, new defenses, new heroes, new mechanisms. That's all cool. I love the battle machine. I think it's a really cool hero, and I especially love how the battle machine, the special ability can be used multiple times during the same attack, during the same match. And you guys will experience this as you progress, and maybe you'll start to enjoy some of these little things a bit more. So I love there's a new hero. I love that there's a new troops. All the troops we just went through, they're all pretty cool. I like the new structures. I like how there's an air bomb spawning unit. You know, it's the same game in its foundation, but there's just a lot more customization, both on offense and on defense. And I love, you guys know who have been watching my channel for a while, I've always been asking for more customization from Supercell, and finally, we're starting to have that. I like the fact that even gearing up can give people the opportunity to customize their bases for clan wars, so that not every Max Town Hall 9 is the same, not every Max Town Hall 10 is the same, and so on and so forth. There's some diversity now, and it's going to give something strategic and tactical for clan war enthusiasts to think about when they're trying to align what types of bases they want on their side of the war map. And it's going to give attackers more to think about. Okay, there's a double cannon, there's a multi-motor, how am I going to deal with that? So I really like that. I love customization. I like how you can change the direction of the push traps. I like how you can change the range and the DPS of the archer towers. I am a big fan of customization, and this actually has a lot of it. When you hop into these raids here, of course I don't have an army and I'm on the dev build. Way to go, Ash, epic fail. But when you hop into these raids here, I love that when you're scouting a base for a full minute, you can change your army based on the base. That, to me, is another big customization factor. Of course, all the traps you can set to air or ground. I love that, except for the push trap, obviously, but the mines, I love that as well. So I really love the new defenses, the new troops, the new customization, all big fan. I'm a big fan of all those, and I love gear ups as well. Now, I love promoting different types of attacks, right? So another thing that they do in this new village here is the fact that they have the army camps the way they are, the setup. Let me just go back again to the dev build here, because it's not not much to show on my home village, okay? So on my camps here, I like this setup where, geez, train troops, there we go, where you can just fit the troops inside one of the camps. So I'm selecting my camp, and then these troops will train in that camp. I like this because what it does is, even on farming raids, even though they're not really farming raids anymore because it's a totally separate PvP, you know, structure. You guys are familiar, obviously, with that by now. But what we can do here is we can use like a kill squad on normal attacks. I mean, you're going to be competing for loot, but what it did was it kind of built a bridge between farming and war attacks, because now you just want a 3-star. It's not about getting the loot and targeting the loot, and I know some of you guys like that. Me personally, I like the idea that now we just want to destroy the heck out of these bases, regardless of what the loot they may or may not have, because now it's not about the loot, it's about just doing better than your opponent does. It incentivizes good base building, especially for farming, because farming is defending, right? And it incentivizes really good strategic attacking. And as you progress even beyond Builder Hut level 5, or Builder Base level 5, someday I'll get the terminology down, guys. As you progress further and further, even when you get onto 6, 7, and you know, and so forth, I'll tell you what, the strategy does become more, I can't say strategy becomes more strategic, but the strategy becomes more intense, more in-depth. So I really do like this. The idea of using kill squads on farming attacks, to me, is really cool. So I do like that as a more strategic and technical player. And then, I mean, the obvious thing, guys, is there's just a lot more to do now. I mean, they have cool things. They have the gem mine. They have the clock tower, which is a free boost every 8 hours. Of course, this is the boost now option where you can pay to do it immediately, but every 8 hours you get a boost. That's awesome. You have a gem mine, you get more gems. That's pretty cool. You have separate resources, which is understandable. I mean, you are starting from scratch, but there's just a lot of new stuff to do. You can upgrade all these new things, and you know what? New stuff for me is always exciting. Of course, there's going to be a contingency of people out there who say, new stuff, greedy Supercell. They want more of our money, and I can understand, honestly, where you guys are coming from, especially in an update like this, where you have to pay to attack more right now if you want to, after you've hit your limit. But with that said, I mean, we do demand new content. They've given us a massive amount of new content, so of course, you're going to be able to spend your 2 valuable resources, time and money, much more, because there's a ton of new stuff. So if they remove, in my opinion, that loot cap and the paying to play aspect of it, I think I'm totally good in terms of the greedy Supercell, money grab Supercell personally. So that is my take and my full review of the update. I am excited to see where this goes. I know a lot of my commenters have mentioned they're coming back to the game from Clash Royale, so I'm super excited to have my Let's Play series where we progress. You can see my own little pathetic village probably looks a lot like yours right now, guys. So I'm excited to kind of do this together, just have some fun, and hopefully some of those fixes that I'm looking for and that a lot of you guys are looking for too will be coming to the game, because Supercell will indeed listen, as they did in the Town Hall 11 update. So let's hope for the best, let's plan for the worst, and let's try to enjoy this, because it is a game after all. So guys, huge shout out to my YouTube partner Bren Chong, huge shout out to all of you guys. Really appreciate you continuing to support the channel 3 years plus after I started. It really means a lot, and here I am still playing Clash of Clans. So guys, thanks so much for watching, and as always, take care, guys.